Was Marquez's injury just a cover-up for a doping scandal? The stakes couldn't be higher as Marquez faces a double long lap penalty and murmurs about his fitness for the upcoming event. All this is only adding to the drama. Rev your engines and get ready to witness a high-speed debate that's been leaving fans of the sport in a frenzy. Whether you are a die-hard fan or just a curious spectator, we guarantee you will be glued to your seat as we dive into this heated topic. Don't wait any longer. Hit that subscribe button now and join our community of racing enthusiasts. Marc Marquez's racing against fate. Marc Marquez, a name that echoes with the roaring engines of MotoGP, stands as a true legend in the sport. With 8 World Championship titles under his belt, Marquez has carved his name in the pages of racing history. However, his journey has not been without its fair share of challenges. In recent years, injuries have plagued the rider, threatening to bring his illustrious career to a screeching halt. It's like the universe is trying to tell him to slow down, but Marquez just can't hear it over the sound of his roaring engine. A severe arm injury left him sidelined for the entire 2020 season, forcing him to sit out and watch from the sidelines. But Marquez is a fighter. He returned to the tracks in 2021, determined to reclaim his former glory. However, fate had other plans. Marquez's comeback has been far from smooth sailing. His struggle to regain his form and adapt to the changes on the track have been evident. Multiple crashes have put his racing career in jeopardy. But his most recent incident at the Portuguese Grand Prix in Portimao was one of the most severe. Marquez found himself in a fierce battle with Miguel Oliveira and Jorge Martin, vying for position. In a moment of split-second misjudgment, he lost control of his bike and collided with him, causing serious injuries to both riders. Now this is where things get interesting. The crash that we just talked about has sparked a heated debate about Marc Marquez's riding style. Want to know more? Keep watching. Marc Marquez's aggressive riding style under scrutiny. The fallout from Marc Marquez's involvement in this serious crash at the Portuguese Grand Prix has been nothing short of chaotic. While Marquez escaped with relatively minor injuries, the same cannot be said for his fellow competitors. They suffered significant harm as a result of the collision. In the aftermath, the question of how best to punish Marquez for his reckless riding has been fiercely debated. Marquez's double long lap penalty has been a topic of intense scrutiny, with some claiming that it is too lenient given the severity of the incident. Others, however, have defended the penalty, arguing that it was an appropriate punishment given the circumstances. The long lap penalty is designed to force offending riders to take a longer route around a designated section of the track. This slows them down and causes them to lose time. While it is viewed as a relatively light punishment, it is not without its impact. However, the controversy surrounding the penalty has been amplified by the fact that it will only be enforced if Marquez is fit to race in the upcoming event. Marquez suffered a suspected hand fracture in the crash. There are doubts about whether he will be able to compete in Argentina. If Marquez is unable to race, he will not be required to serve the penalty. This is leading some to accuse the sport's governing bodies of allowing riders to escape punishment. It's like the governing bodies are saying, hey, if you're fit enough to ride, we'll punish you. But if you're not, then we'll just sweep it under the rug. The situation has left fans and experts alike questioning the fairness of the rules and the penalties that are enforced. The incident at the Portuguese Grand Prix has left many scratching their heads, wondering what could have possibly led to such a catastrophic collision. While the exact cause of the crash may never be fully known, there are several possible reasons why Marc Marquez may have caused the collision with Miguel Oliveira. But before we delve into that, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Uncovering the possible causes of Marquez's collision with Oliveira. One possible explanation is Marquez's aggressive riding style. Marquez is known for his fearless approach to racing, often pushing the limits and taking risks that other riders would never dare to take. The approach has brought him great success in the past, but it also puts him at a higher risk of crashing and causing collisions. Another possible factor is Marquez's lack of experience with the new bike. Marquez returned to racing in 2021 after a year-long absence due to injury. During his absence, the sport had undergone significant changes, including the introduction of a new bike model. It is possible that Marquez was still adjusting to the new bike and was not yet comfortable with its handling and capabilities. Furthermore, the pressure to perform could also be a contributing factor. Marquez has always been a fierce competitor, driven by his desire to win. However, his recent struggles and injuries may have put him under immense pressure to prove himself and show that he still has what it takes to compete at the highest level. Many have questioned why his penalty was not as severe as others who committed similar offenses. It's a puzzling situation, and there are several arguments that could be made in favor of going easy on Marquez. Let's solve this penalty puzzle. Firstly, Marquez's previous success and popularity are significant factors that should be considered when assessing his actions during the race. As one of the most successful and popular riders in MotoGP, Marquez has won numerous championships and earned a large following of fans. Secondly, some people argue that collisions are not uncommon in this highly challenging and competitive sport, and Marquez's collision with Oliveira should be viewed in that context. Another factor to be considered is the potential impact on the championship standings. At the time of the collision, Marquez was a top contender for the championship, and penalizing him too harshly could have a significant impact on the outcome of the season. Additionally, punishing Marquez too severely could make the championship less exciting for fans. Furthermore, some people argue that Marquez did not intentionally cause the collision with Oliveira, and that punishing him too harshly would be unfair. Finally, safety concerns should also be taken into account when deciding on any disciplinary action. Punishing Marquez too severely could lead to other riders taking more risks on the track in the future, which could compromise the safety of all riders. Therefore, it is important to maintain a balance between enforcing rules and ensuring the safety of all riders. The penalty system in MotoGP has come under fire from experts who believe that it lacks transparency and consistency. The need for clarity and consistency in MotoGP's penalty system. In order to ensure a fair playing field for all riders, they suggest that the sport's governing body should consider revising the penalty system. The inconsistencies have led to confusion and debate amongst fans and experts regarding the penalty notice given to Marc Marquez. Marquez's penalty notice specifically requires him to serve a penalty during the Argentine Grand Prix, which has raised eyebrows among fans and experts. This wording is in contrast to the penalty notice given to Celestino Vietti during the 2022 Moto2 season. It required him to take a double long lap at the next Grand Prix event, rather than at a specific race. It's like the difference between getting a slap on the wrist and getting a full-on karate chop to the neck. This discrepancy has led to questions about the consistency of the rules and regulations within MotoGP. Some have speculated that the difference in wording may be a mistake or oversight by officials, whereas others have suggested that it may be a deliberate choice intended to give Marquez a disadvantage in the upcoming race. However, MotoGP organizers have confirmed that Marquez's penalty will only apply to the Argentine Grand Prix and will disappear if he does not compete in the race. The confusion surrounding the penalty notice has added an extra layer of drama to an already highly anticipated race. Fans and experts alike were watching closely to see how Marquez reacted to the situation. Marquez's response to the controversy. Marc Marquez has issued a heartfelt apology for his involvement in the crash that occurred during the Portuguese MotoGP race. The accident caused a violent impact with Miguel Oliveira and left the latter injured. This made him unable to continue the race. In his statement, Marquez expressed his regret and acknowledged that his reckless riding was responsible for the unfortunate incident. Marquez recounted the events that led to the crash, stating that he lost control under braking for the turn 3 hairpin on lap 3. He attempted to avoid a collision by running wide, but his efforts were unsuccessful and he collided with Oliveira instead. The incident resulted in a fracture in Marquez's hand, requiring surgery and forcing him to miss the upcoming Argentina MotoGP race. During his apology, Marquez was wearing a cast on his right arm, a visible reminder of the severity of the crash. Meanwhile, Jorge Martin, who was also involved in the collision, fears that he has suffered a broken toe and possible ankle damage. Despite the injuries sustained, Marquez took responsibility for his actions and expressed his deep remorse for the unfortunate incident. "On my side, I have some pain in my right hand and with my knee," he commented. "But this is not so important at the minute. I fully accept and respect the penalty of the double long lap during the Argentina GP because I made a mistake," he said. The uncertainty surrounding Marc Marquez's next race appearance has ignited a fervent debate about the ethics of pushing injured riders to compete. While the urge to see Marquez on the track is overwhelming for many fans, they say that it would be tantamount to sacrificing his health for the sake of entertainment. This raises questions about the balance between passion and safety in MotoGP. Also, how to ensure that riders are given adequate time to rest and recover before returning to the sport. The incident has also highlighted the importance of safety measures in the sport. It emphasized the need to prioritize the health and well-being of the riders. The sport will continue to evolve and adapt to new challenges, but the safety of the riders must always remain a top priority. It also raises concerns about the thin line between passion and recklessness in MotoGP racing. Will Marquez learn from this, or will he continue to push the limits, risking everything for the sake of the sport he loves? What do you think? Let us know in the comments below, and also don't forget to hit the subscribe button.